In the previous video, we introduced the topic of the importance of physical activity, focusing especially on its physical benefits. In this video, however, I want to highlight the added value it brings on a psychological level. In fact, when we regularly engage in exercise, we are also building our character at the same time. Kelly McGonigal, in her book, The Joy of Movement, subtitled, How Exercise Helps Us Find Happiness, Hope, and Courage, explains how consistency in training develops increased self-esteem, a strong sense of self-efficacy, and remarkable strength of character. Why? Because learning to manage sustained effort in the gym or during a run translates into a greater ability to face daily challenges with determination and self-confidence. If I can share a practical tip, don't wait for inspiration to get started. Maybe in a previous video, I already talked to you about what I call the pool effect. That feeling when you don't feel like grabbing your bag, leaving the house, and going to the pool. Maybe because you've had a tough day, you're tired, it's raining outside, you have a headache, and so on. But if you make that initial effort to dive into the water, after just a few strokes you already feel better, more energetic, more positive. We get out of the water thanking ourselves, grateful for having overcome that initial resistance. But for many people, unfortunately, that initial effort is insurmountable. And it's no coincidence that this happens in other areas of their lives as well. The success of gyms, the fact that they can afford to overbook during annual signups, is precisely due to this lack of consistency among the general public. A lot of people sign up for a yearly gym membership telling themselves, yeah, this year I'm going to crush it. And after a month or a month and a half of going to the gym, they disappear. If everyone who signed up for the gym actually kept going, there wouldn't even be a single free machine to work out on. I already talked about this years ago in the series Psychology of Weak Thinking. You don't need to be especially gifted, or maybe even particularly smart in life to stand out. All it takes is consistency, keeping your head down and working hard like a mule. Why? Because 100 people start out, but only 10 make it to the end. And why is that? Is it because those 10 are exceptional? No, only 1 out of 100 is exceptional, and that's exactly why they're called the exception. The reality, maybe a bit cynical, is that 90 people give up along the way, and the other 9, aside from the genius, reach the finish line simply because they kept going. They didn't quit, they kept their heads down and pushed straight ahead. You know, at the beginning, it's really just about breaking the pattern of inertia that keeps us glued to the couch. William James, one of the fathers of modern psychology, confirmed to us that often action comes before motivation, not the other way around. We start moving even if we don't feel like it, and motivation will catch up with us along the way. And if you have any physical or psychological issues, like being overweight, underweight, having endocrine problems, whatever it may be, motivational issues, or you just don't know the best way to approach the sport you want to do, don't hesitate to reach out to professionals like personal trainers or nutritionists, especially at the beginning. Get help, and remember that while it's true that physical activity can and should be adapted to your age and your condition, it's also true that there is never a time when you're too old to get moving. Numerous studies, like those compiled by Luigi Fontana in his work on longevity, show the benefits of exercise even at an advanced age. In short, let's remind ourselves, physical activity is a powerful protective factor against depression, anxiety, and numerous psychophysical imbalances at any age. It's a gift we can give ourselves every day, an investment in our present and future well-being. At first, you might have to give yourself a little beneficial push to get started. You have to force yourself, but believe me, even that is a great psychotherapeutic lesson. And it's not about living as long as possible, it's about living as well as possible. See you next time.